Okay, so for this advanced video, we'll be looking at the Accounts Receivable module of Vivaldi Metro, which allows us to add customers to an account where you'll be able to add invoices, make payments, whether it be cash, check, or credit card, at the end of the month. You can print statements and multiple reports from the Office menu, respectively, and we'll look at all this in just a little bit. There are certain steps to take into consideration for the accounts to work. Step 1 is to add the customer to an account. Basically, it just means to set up the customer. Step 2 is write and then later pick up the ticket, and then we'll learn how to add that ticket onto and place it onto the account. And lastly is print the statements and post your payments. So step 1, to set up a customer to be on account, you can go to the customer button on the main screen, or by adding a customer when you're writing a ticket, as we've learned in previous videos. Doesn't really matter which one you choose because they will both perform the same basic task. So we'll click on the customer button from the main screen. We'll go ahead and add a customer named Joshua Kroger. So we'll type in his last name first, followed by a comma, and then his first name last. So we'll type in Kroger Joshua. Then we'll add a phone number which the system doubles as an account number. So we'll type in 760-666 897161 or something like that. Email address is not really required, but it is optional. Just basically means that it'll send email notifications to the customer when certain things are ready. So we'll type in something like Kroger J at Vivaldi Systems. Yikes, why do I not know how to spell? There we go. An address is not really required, but a billing address is required, and I'll show you how it'll populate from here down on the accounting tab. So we'll go ahead and add an address right now. So we'll type in 1234 Elm Place, and that's located in Miami, Florida, I think. Alright, so to add this customer onto the accounts, we'll go on to the accounting tab down below and indicate that this customer is an account customer by adding a check mark where it says account customer. And so remember when I said that it'll that a billing address is necessary. Once we click here, it'll populate all the shipping address down here on the billing address if the account customer checkbox is marked on. A billing address, and this is actually perfect. And this is actually perfect if you want to separate, have a separate billing address compared to the shipping address. So we'll keep that the same. And a billing phone number is required, so we'll go ahead and transfer that down below. And you could also link a credit card number if you want to, let's say, add make automatic credit card payments at the end of the month. So you can add a credit card number here and then an expiration date down below. So once we're ready, we'll click on Save Changes, and then we'll move on to step number 2. We'll go back, and so we'll go ahead and write a ticket. So let's search for Joshua, who we just added. So this Joshua Kroger. And since this step is not really as important as let's say picking up a ticket, we'll just add something really, really quick. So we'll add 2 silk blouses and then 1 scarf. Once you're ready, we'll click on Save and Print. We'll add a pickup and delivery date. You can add coupons or discounts if you wanted to. And then for you, most likely you'll click on Print Ticket, but on this demonstration I don't really want to waste any paper, and click on Save and Close. So we'll go back to the main menu, and for this part, this part's for you. You'll go ahead and clean the items and then mark tickets ready or assign locations. But for me, I'll just go ahead and skip that and go straight into picking up tickets. So and actually remember the last thing we searched, so we typed in Joshua before, so I'll go ahead and click on Joshua Kroger, and it remembered the ticket that I just wrote. So we'll highlight this, indicating that this is the ticket we want to pick up by adding a check mark right next to it. So we'll go ahead and cash out. So before, so this screen is kind of familiar. This is where you go ahead and add the payments. You can pay by cash, credit card, or check. But that's not really what we want to do. We want to add this total dollar amount here and place it on account. and that's really easy to do. Before, if an account, actually, if a customer was not placed on account, this button right here would not be active. But now that this customer is placed on account, we have the ability to place this total dollar amount onto the account. So we'll click on here, and it just told us that this dollar amount, the total dollar amount, was now placed on account. So we'll click OK, which sends us back to the main screen, and then we'll move on to step number 3, which is accounts. So we'll click on accounts, which sends us to a screen kind of similar to the customer search window, but doesn't really behave like this. Only customers that are on account will be shown here on the results. So if we type in Joshua, Joshua shows up. So you have ability right here. So if we highlight this, you're able to print statements or send email reminders to this customer. But to actually access to this account, we'll go ahead and click on Edit Account, and it shows us the ticket that we just placed on account. So working from left to right, we have some buttons right here at the bottom. So we're able to add payments, add invoices, remove invoices, list all, and then print statements, which can be done either way from here, or manually charge a credit card to this customer if their credit card information was added under the accounting tab under the on the customer module. So first things first, I'll go ahead and add a payment, and let's say this customer walked in and paid $10 via check. So add $10 and then pay by check, and it'll actually show us the next line right here with a credit of $10, and it actually refreshed down here. So the previous ticket amount was $11, and then he paid $10. Now they still owe $1. So next thing we want to do, let's go ahead and add an invoice. So I'll add an invoice from here, and let's say they owe $30 from a previous system. So we'll type in, let's say, $30, and then let's say pay by check, and it just added a due amount onto the due amount column. And let's go ahead and change from invoice to opening balance under the reference column. And then once we're done, we'll click on Save Changes, and it'll actually refresh down here below with a new balance. So now they owe $31. So let's go ahead and remove the invoice we just added, just to test. So we'll highlight the line, and we'll click on Remove. We'll click OK, and then we'll save changes, and then it just refreshed. Now they still owe $1. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and print statements if we wanted to, and then I'll show you how to save if you wanted to as well. So we'll click on Statement right here, and it should pop up. This is where you get a more detailed report per customer. So right here they have the account number, their shipping, their billing address, and you can go ahead and print this and then mail it to the customer if you wanted to. But also, so the print button is right here up above, but you could also save if you wanted to. You could export to an Excel, PDF, or Word document. So we'll go ahead and click on PDF. So it'll send it. Actually, I've already done one before, so I'll go ahead and override that. I'll click yes, and then we'll see here on my desktop the PDF that was just generated. So I'll go ahead and exit. I'll go ahead and exit from here, and then once we're done, we'll click on Save Changes. We'll go back to the main menu, and I'll show you how to print your AR reports. So we go to the Office menu up above, and then we'll go to Accounts Receivable, and then we can generate all our accounts receivable for all the customers we have. So let it load, and from here you can see pretty much all the account customers you have. And that is how you manage the accounts of Vivaldi Metro. Be sure to watch more of our advanced videos located in this YouTube playlist. Alright, see ya.